Perfect. So welcome to Mentor Mondays. This session will be the Beyond Entertainment Growth on TikTok. And so excited. We have so many people coming from everywhere. London, that's pretty cool. First, we're going to start with the land acknowledgement. I'd like to acknowledge that the land that which we gather has been is the traditional territory of several indigenous nations, including the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the Wanda, the Métis, and the Mississauga of First Credit Nations. Since time immemorial, numerous indigenous nations and indigenous people have lived and passed through this territory. We recognize this territory is covered by the Dish of One Spoon Treaty and the Two Wampum Treaty, which emphasizes the importance of joint stewardship, peace, and respectful relationships. Sheridan affirms that it's our collective responsibility to honor and respect those who have gone before us, those who are here, and those who are yet to come. We are grateful for this opportunity to be working and living on this land. So a quick Zoom orientation. We just say mute your mic when you're not speaking so we can eliminate any background noise. To introduce myself, I'm Tiana Hong, and I am the Business Development Support Specialist. And I'm here just to facilitate and help Erica with this session. If you have any needs in regards to any questions, you can use the chat function to message me, and I can help you out there. Webcams are not mandatory, but encouraged. We love to see everyone's faces to make it as human connection as possible. And this session will be recorded. If you have any problems, just message me or Erica, and then we can stop recording at any time. So for our agenda today, we just went through the introductions, and then I put some questions in the chat, so feel free to introduce each other there. And we'll doing the presentation by Erica and about TikTok, and she will be holding a Q&A after the session. So for those who don't know, we are Edge, and Edge is our entrepreneur and discovery growth engine right out of Sheridan College, which is in Mississauga, Ontario. We empower those who connect creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship. We offer mentorship, learning programs, co-working spaces, and funding to our members. We also connect entrepreneurs with Sheridan's talents, expertise, and resources. These are our programs, Explore, Leap, Rise, and Soar. Those 4 programs start from the ideation process of a venture all the way to scaling your venture to ensuring growth. So I'd like to welcome Erica as our special guest. We are very happy to have Erica today. Erica is actually the marketing and events coordinator at Edge, and she supports the marketing efforts to grow Edge visibility in the startup ecosystem. Erica is passionate about storytelling and using video to provide value to the audience. Erica, I would like to pass it on to you. Thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you so much, Tiana, and welcome everyone. I'm so excited to be hosting the session on TikTok. Yeah, so about me, I work at Edge. I also am a business owner as well. I'm also part of Edge and iCube's Leap Startup Leap program where I'm going to build another business that I have on the side. And I'm planning on using TikTok as like my main sort of social media platform, which is actually why I've done so much research and I've spent so much time on TikTok. And I thought, you know what, why not share what I've learned, you know, with other people who are also interested in using TikTok. So actually, we have a quick poll that I wanted to start off with. I was just curious to see sort of what our numbers are here. If you could answer the poll that Tiana is going to pop up in just a moment, but do you currently use TikTok? So yes, no, but you want to, or you're just here to learn. And then the poll will close after a minute, and then we'll just get a feel for the group today.
So we're getting the polls in, just waiting on a couple people. Let me know if you guys are having any troubles with the poll. Okay. Let's give it 2 more seconds. Okay, I'm gonna end the poll now.
Okay, awesome. So not everyone, 47% are on TikTok. So that's awesome, cool. So I'm actually gonna do sort of like just a super quick introduction. And then we'll just start getting into the content. So I have a ton of video examples that I've pulled from TikTok that I'm going to discuss and use as examples. I'm also going to talk about the types of content that you can use to grow your business or your audience. And then I'll also go over some tips and tricks. And then towards the end, we can also analyze some TikToks together and see what makes them great videos. Okay, so what is TikTok? So essentially, it's a video sharing social networking service that is used to make a variety of short-term form videos from genres like dance, comedy, and education that have a duration from 15 seconds to 1 minute. You will find tons of different content on TikTok. So those, dance, comedy, and education, those are just some of the I guess the larger umbrella terms, but it originally started off, I think initially released in 2016 as, I think Musical.ly was the original title, where it was mainly like for dance, singing, lip singing videos. And so it's sort of evolved into more than just that. It's actually quite a really robust sort of editing app. It currently has 1 billion active users, and the top demographics you can see there. So the ages from 10 to 19 make up the largest demographic, so 32.5%. The next is 20 to 29 at 29.5%. So you can see there, if those are your target demographics, then you can definitely use those TikTok to consider TikTok as a marketing platform if those are your age demographics. And then on the right, it has sort of like the main features. So essentially, you can record your own video either with a front or back facing camera. You can upload already recorded videos. You can also edit, trim, all that good stuff. They also have effects, so like audio and visual. So you can maybe have a green screen. You can, multiply yourself. You can change your audio. You can sound like a chipmunk. There's lots of other things you can do. You can add music. Other audio effects or voiceover. That's the cool part, I think, is to be able to like talk over a video. And it's so easy to do. TikTok is very user-friendly. You can also input text on top of your video. This is really helpful, and I'll talk about it a little bit later, but for closed captions, that's actually been a really big trend lately. And it just helps obviously with the hearing impaired, and if you're maybe in a situation where you can't really listen to TikTok out loud, it's great. So you can still actually get the content without your volume all the way up. And so the last two are really important features, I think. So you can duet with other users. Duet is like, singing where you would sing with another person at the same time. But what it means for TikTok specifically is where you have two videos that are playing simultaneously, side by side. And again, I have a sample to show you. And then stitch, other videos, is when you take the first few seconds of somebody else's video and that sort of starts your video, and then you can sort of add on to that. So I think those two, I would say, are really good at sort of engaging your audience, building your audience, connecting with similar audiences. And I'll go more into those in the next slides. Okay, so types of TikTok content. So there is way more types that you can definitely put out there, but this is what I found to be sort of the most common or successful. So industry secrets, informational, valuable, and work in progress. So I know the first two kind of sound similar, but I'll explain how they're different. Industry secrets kind of has more of like some sort of like shock factor, like, whoa, that's really interesting. Information and valuable is more like, not lecture style, but still really valuable information. They typically tend to be a little bit longer. And work in progress is just anything as they're working. So, if you're an artist, it's you working on that piece of art. Or if you are if you make ceramics for a living, it's actually you going through the steps to create a ceramic, plate or bowl. And then I've separated the next sort of two groups. So trends and challenges, those I would recommend if it's, on brand for your business, but sometimes they can be more like dance and singing challenges. There are some fun ones. And I'll talk about them later, but so if they're just a great way to sort of piggyback on a trend, maybe it's a popular song or a popular type of content that people are putting out there. It might be nice to just, sort of get in there and sort of try to get views onto your channel, because that's really the end of the goal with any kind of content, whether it's on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, is you want people to visit your social media page, like what they see, eventually follow, and then they're like, oh, you know what, this is a cool account, let me check out their website. And then they check out your website and they see all the cool programs, services, or products that you offer, and then eventually the goal is, to get them to sign up for your newsletter to buy a product. So the next point is viral. So viral, technically the definition is something that is like viewed, over and over and over again, and it's shared from so many people. But I guess what I mean by viral is I mean viral types of content. And so you can see there on the right, this is solely what I've defined viral types of content. So they're either wholesome, with kids, dogs, animals, something wholesome and heartwarming, or like some sort of heartwarming story, or they have some sort of like shock factor where you're like, whoa, that was cool, or whoa, I had no idea. Just some sort of like coolness, I guess, aspect, something that you didn't know. And then again, at the bottom, I've included duet and stitches, because I guess it's not a type of content, but it is definitely a strategy that you could use in the type of content that you share. And again, so I couldn't find technically a concrete definition of viral, but for the presentation's sake, let's say it's over 100,000 likes and over 1 million views. Okay, so now we're gonna get into it. So these are some industry secret sample videos that I've shared. So the video on the left is from an account called @VRMed. The caption for this video is, do you know how big epidural needles are? VRMed is a preventative medicine and cosmetic surgery clinic. They currently have 42.3 thousand followers. This video specifically has 13 million views and 1.6 million likes. Andy's seen this one, awesome. So, Tiana, if you want to play the video.
You must be crazy, must be out of your mind, out of your mind. You must be drunk, you gotta be real high, real high.
So, the reason, yes, woe indeed, yes. So, I mean, the only people who would really know how big an epidural needle is if you work in that industry, or you've, given birth or supported someone who gave birth and needed an epidural. So there's no way I would have known that. So when I first watched this video, I thought, whoa, right? There's that shock factor. It definitely went viral according to my standards for this presentation. And it was short and informative, and it made me want to check out the rest of their page. I'm like, what are they doing with epidural needles? Are they OBs? Are they, what? So then I just clicked and I just saw that they were, this medical clinic, and they posted other similar types of content, about beauty and stuff like that. So that's sort of like an industry secret. So that's what I meant by it sort of short. Oh, Margaret is asking to replay the video. Sure.
You must be crazy, must be out of your mind, out of your mind. You must be drunk, you gotta be real high, real high.
So yeah, so that one is great at bringing people to their channel because of that shock factor. No worries, Margaret. So the next one is from an account called MD Design 16. And so this user is a sticker artist. So she designs stickers on an app called Procreate on her iPad. And then she outsources them, like the printing, to these two companies. I believe she does stickers, magnets, keychains, a whole bunch of that stuff. And so this one is interesting because this is a really cool feature about TikTok. So someone asked her in one of her previous videos, I don't know if you can see there at the top. Can you please show a visual for the difference between the two kinds of stickers, please? So she's actually responding to someone who's asked her a question. So this is great engagement with your followers. I'm sure that person who responded definitely appreciated the extra effort to go, respond with a video. So she actually has 170,000 followers. This video specifically, 14,000 views and just under 1,400 likes. So not quite in that viral range, but still, this can also tie into a bit of the valuable informational content. But Tiana, if you want to.
These are from Sticker App. They have a high gloss finish. They're thick, they're durable. The colors are very vibrant. These are from Sticker Mule. They have a soft matte finish. Sometimes I think their color is a little softer, but I still love them. Both companies are waterproof, weatherproof, and dishwasher safe.
Thank you. So with Industry Secrets, with this sticker app, I mean, if you're going to buy from a company that sells stickers, you typically don't know where they print their stickers. You would assume that, if she's selling them, like that she would print them herself. But no, she's actually really open and transparent. She's like, no, I print them elsewhere. And then she talks about why, and she talks about the benefits to both. Also, if you, maybe this is not your business, maybe you're not a sticker artist, but you have a business and you're considering maybe getting stickers for your business as promo, then this is a great video to check out, because now you have insight into two options. You can consider, she uses it for her business, like as her living, so you can know that they're two pretty legitimate sites. So you can do more research onto the two websites, but this is great. This is sort of great information for you as an entrepreneur or as a business, as a small business owner. I've actually ordered through Sticker Mule because I've seen a lot of people use them. So I've ordered them for myself when I wanted stickers. So that's awesome too. And so it's also great. So that's why it's sort of beyond entertainment. Like you can use TikTok sort of as a small business owner to learn about like small business owner tips, or, what other small business owners are doing, or you can also learn tips and tricks for your own business, and learn sort of like learn from the different types of content that people are sharing. So if you want to go to the next slide, please.
These are from Sticker App. They have a high gloss finish.
Okay, so now this is the informational, valuable sort of content. So this is more like your blog posts, or like your short, like typically what you could find in a blog post, but it's in a short condensed video. So the video on the left is from this account called at Cove Essentials, which I believe is actually a hair product company out of Burlington, Ontario. So this is how they reach influencers. So this account, again, has 116,000 followers, 41,000 views, and 4,000 likes. So obviously not on the viral stats, but still very, very useful on how a small business gets influencers.
Hi, I'm going to show you guys how we find appropriate influencers for our brand. So within tags, we search Discover Under, and this brings up accounts with followers under a certain value. We usually go with influencers with followers under 20,000, as we are a smaller brand, so we have a smaller budget. This photo here caught our attention, and we like the feed. It seems as though this girl has thick hair, so it could be perfect for one of our cloud clips. We reach out to her via email, and we use our own custom domain, support@coveessentials.com. The subject, we'd love to collaborate. We have a pretty standard template that we send to everyone, but of course we customize it based on who we're reaching out to. That's it.
So this is actually a great account. Like, I mean, I actually follow her more for her small business tips than I do for her hair products. I believe she started early in the pandemic, and she was working out of her bedroom. So she was working out of her bedroom, but then she was able to make enough money to then eventually move out of the space. She talked about how she designed her space. She talks about how she does her branding, her marketing, what software she uses. These are all great things like for small business owners to learn about. So you can also follow her. You can definitely follow her for more of those small business tips. And so the video on the right, very different. She is a dog trainer, username Outbound Dogs. And I've been following her for a while because I got a COVID puppy and I obviously did not know what I was doing. So short videos like this are great because I don't really have time sometimes to read a whole blog post about how to, deal with an anxious puppy, or I don't have to go through a YouTube video with ads and it's like 10 minutes long. And I'm just laughing at the comments. So I don't have to go through a YouTube video to listen about, how to go through all the steps when I can watch something that is as short as a minute. So basically, the caption for this video is "Wait for it, turn fearful situations into a fun, challenging game, and you'll always win them over." So she has 551,000 followers, and this one obviously has a lot more, 121,000 views and 22,000 likes. So content like this, you can see that she obviously cares for the well-being of the dog. She takes her time. I feel she uses the way of this TikTok very well because she just does short snippets, but you can still see the progression of how the dog goes from being scared of the leash to then being, totally okay with it. Then she uses text sort of overlaid over the video very simply. It's not very busy. It's about one specific thing, which is like your dog is scared of the leash. And so she has a great channel. So she does other similar videos like this where she talks about, how to train your dog, how to deal with separation anxiety, things like that. So little snippets of information that you can take home with you in a way and that you can do on your own. And that's what I find with this Cove Essentials as well, is like it's tips that you can easily do yourself. And so it also helps like anyone with a COVID puppy or any dog or pet with any anxiety. So it's a good tool to be able to easily refer back to, if you do need it. Okay, so this is sort of the work in progress slide that I talked about. And I apologize if I can't get to all the messages in the chat. I see them popping up, but I will definitely get back to them at the end. So the item the video on the left is for my artists out there. So this is, the username is @crystalpaintings. So the caption for this video is a Liquitex acrylic painting on 12 by 12 canvas. I don't know 100% where she sells her products, but basically clients commission her to paint portraits of their pets. And so 134,000 followers. This one is almost viral with 814,000 views, 168,000 likes. Again, because I have a dog, maybe there's just a lot of dog content that gets put on my algorithms. But basically this is people recording themselves already doing the job. So this is great because they've already been commissioned to do the task. They have to do it. And instead of going out of their own way, going out of the way to do something and then record it, they're actually just recording what they would naturally do, or what they would be doing for their job. So if you want to play the first video, Tiana, please.
Hi everyone, I have a cute golden retriever to paint today and I'm going to take you through it.
So first, I sketch out all the major shapes, then I put down all the basic midtones I see, which was a ton of different purpley browns and yellows, and I went with a basic blue blended out with white for the background. The next part takes the longest, rendering, or basically trying to transition out of that annoying rough draft looking state. And I found out the best basic brown for this dog's coloring was a mix of purple and Naples yellow, and really that color was the perfect marriage between the straight up orange, yellows, and purples I saw on this dog's fur. Granted, some of the purples were in the usual spots like the nose or the tongue. And yeah, after putting in all of those colors comes the time for highlights, which usually make up the most detailed marks in this portrait. And there were moments where white was used to make the whiskers, but some details were just a light yellow. And yeah, with that last touch, here's the finished portrait. So cute. Thanks for watching.
So for videos like that too, one sort of maybe downside that you could see is it might, take a lot of time. Maybe it might extend, how much longer it takes. But for this case, I don't think it did. I mean, she's sitting there painting. She can easily grab her phone and just, pick it up and record a couple seconds here and there. And then she does the voiceover afterwards. So that's the cool part about it. She adds a nice, happy song. And then she goes from start to finish in a minute. You see her whole entire process. You can see the attention to detail she goes to. You can see that she cares about her work. And if you go to her account, you can see that all of her content is basically like this. But actually, both of these users, Grow with the Dogs and this artist on the left, basically both of their accounts are just them doing their job. So that's great content because you don't really have to do much like outside of it, whereas like sometimes you might have to create like digital assets, it's a lot of copywriting, for example. These, you're already doing them, easy to record, easy to upload. And obviously they have that wholesomeness on the virality part because they have dogs. So and the next video is Grow with the Dogs, these shed treatments are so satisfying. So she's actually a dog groomer from Niagara Falls. And there's a bunch of videos where she actually mentions, oh, there's this couple that brought their dog all the way from Toronto to see me. And I've watched a couple of her videos and she has some puppies that come to her for the first time and you can see how anxious they are, but you could see like how she takes care of them, what she does to comfort them, and she really loves what she does. And you can see that through the video. She loves the dogs and she takes good care of them. And this is, again, if you go to her feed, they're all types of dogs. And I mean, she's definitely got a lot of followers. This video specifically, 6.3 million views, which is incredible. And so Tiana, if you want to play the video on the right, please.
This is Odie. He's a 5-year-old border collie mix, and we see him every 8 to 10 weeks for grooming. As you can see, he is very compacted and going to lose a lot of hair. We use the Savior fur nozzle to remove as much hair as possible while he's in the bathtub. This limits the amount of hair that will blow around in my shop. It works very well, and he lost the majority of his undercoat. After his bath, we spray him down in our vinegar water spray to speed up the drying process, and then we blow dry him with the high velocity dryer. He's still losing a lot of hair. Then I spray him down in the Stuff for Dogs, and I am brushing him with my All Systems Slicker brush and my Chris Christensen Coral brush. Then I clip his nails, I trim up his Grinch feet, I shave out his paw pads, I tidy up his edges, spray him in our Jelly Bean cologne, and Odie is all finished, and he lost about 10 pounds in hair.
So in that video as well, they used the closed captions, if you noticed. But again, it wasn't like so in your face. It wasn't like really obnoxious or anything. It was just simple. You could have watched that video without the audio and still figured out, what was going on. And you could do that with actually a lot of her videos. And some engagement that she's tried to do with some of her followers is she's asked them, what dogs do you want to see? And some people are asking for huskies because they have lots of hair. And so she'll respond. And so she'll be like, okay, yeah, this is my sister's husky or something like that. So she actually does listen to and engage with her audience, which is a great way to keep getting them to come back and to like your content. And the fact that she gets people driving from Toronto to Niagara Falls for their dog to get groomed is a testament to the service that she provides.
Hi everyone.
Okay, so this one is the slides, or the trend slide. Sorry, I'm just plugging in my computer. I just don't want it to die. So this one, again, is kind of depends on your business, depends on your brand, whether or not to follow a lot of the trends. I think I mentioned a lot of them happen to be like singing or dancing, but there are some funny ones that are small business related. There's one where they say, someone is usually saying like, oh, you know, tell me you're a small business owner without telling me you're a small business owner. And then they'll have to show, and then someone will like record their home setup, how, you know, it's like next to their bedroom and they have all their supplies right there. And so like, that's a funny way to hop on a trend that is popular. So that's one that I've seen recently. This one is a bit of an older one, but I just want, the reason why I'm showing this to you, this as an example, is just to show you the power of some trends. And how like viral they can really go, and the strength that some of these trends have. So the couple on the left, they're an influencer couple of mixed race. And so with this song, they are embracing their different cultures. 120.6 million views. That is insane. In all of my research, I don't think I've seen another video that has as many views. I'm sure maybe there is more. It's okay, Tiana. So this one is, again, is a short one, but they there's this artist who created this beat. I'm unsure if the artist reached out to them to use the song, or they just found it and used it. I'm not 100% sure, but still 8.1 million likes. I mean, I still can't go over the 120 million views. So if Tiana, you want to play this video. So you've probably heard this, yeah, Delvine knows this one. So you've definitely maybe heard of the tune and seen the trend. It is an anthem. So a lot of people have followed it, sort of that same trend where they're dancing in normal clothes, and then they reveal sort of their cultural or their more traditional wear, you know, embracing their cultures. So Jason Derulo, artist Jason Derulo, who loves to, you know, say his name at the beginning of every song, decided to hop on this hype train of this tune, and created, I don't know if this was the name of the original song, but Savage Love, and sampled the artist. So the original artist, so that huge number there of streams on Spotify is not Jason Derulo's number. It's actually Jawash685 stream on that song. And so if you want to just play the first little bit, Tiana, so we can get a vibe of the song.
Savage love, did somebody break your... Savage love, did somebody break your heart? Looking like an angel, but you're savage love. When you kiss me,
so yeah, so basically took the tune and is also using that. It got that big that, you know, I mean, I'm not sure Jason Derulo is huge, but still wanted to get on that sort of that hype train. So again, trends, if it suits your business, you know, go for it. You know, if not, if you want to just have fun, you can go hop on these trends too. A lot of them are really fun, but if maybe you want to you just want to check them out first and evaluate, you know, is this going to help grow my business? You know, is this just for fun? You know, is this too far-fetched? You know, then that's up to you to decide. Just wanted to show you again the power of some of how trends can work. Okay, so this is a cool feature of TikTok. This is the duet. So obviously by the name, it sounds like it leans more towards musicians, but duet can work in other situations as well. So if you want to maybe react to someone else's video that's in your space, that's a good way to do it as well. I've seen moms post you know, DIY stuff that they do with their baby to keep them entertained, and doulas or like early childhood educators are duetting their content and saying, yeah, this is awesome, like you should definitely check this out. And so that's another way that you could use a duet. But just for this instance, I'm showing if you're a musician, You know, if you're a singer, if you're, you know, just like a musician or even like a producer or whatever, it's great to invite people to duet your content and engage with you this way. So the video on the right, so it's actually one video. So the user on the right is Francis Correll Official, and he's asking his following, come sing my song with me. He recently released his song, You're Too Close. So that's his way of building. Okay, so I can address this question. So Liz is asking, do you have to get permission? So when you upload a photo or when you upload a video, you have the option to choose whether or not you want people to duet or stitch your videos. So if you don't want people, you can totally turn that feature off, but you definitely can. Also, the good thing about duetting and stitching is that TikTok will always give you credit, unless the person tries to do some sneak around and records the video. But if they do it through TikTok, through like a stitch or duet feature, which is like you'll see it on the share button, it'll say actually duet with username, stitch with username. So it does. So you can always, if you liked the original video or the video on the right, then you could then go back to the original user. So going back to this video, he's a singer-songwriter from Indonesia. His original video asking his followers to sing his song with him had 440,000 views and 63.7 thousand likes. So Tori Kelly, so again, I don't know if maybe he reached out to her and asked her to duet it, or she just happened to see it organically and decided to duet it. I don't unfortunately know the history behind this, but she is, if you don't know her, she's a singer-songwriter from the US. She was nominated for Best New Artist at the 50th Grammy Awards, and her video, her duet video, so this video specifically, I got this video off of her channel, has 3.4 million views and 735,000 likes. So that's all in addition to Francis Correll's stats on his original video. So Tiana, if you want to play this one.
Hi, I just released my song, You're Too Close. If you happen to know it, please sing with me. 'Cause you're too close. Keep asking what I want the most. I'm scared I'll never let you go. That's why I never wanna get this close. Whoa.
You're too close. I hate it when you give me hope. We both know how the story goes. That's why I never wanna get this close.
This close. Ooh, that was sick. Thank you.
You're so dumb.
So that's awesome for him. You know, whether or not it was, you know, he reached out to her or not, he got Tori Kelly to sing this awesome little duet with him regarding his song. At least, you know, for me, when I saw this, I was like, whoa, this is awesome. Definitely want to include this in my presentation. But also I wanted to check out what the song was. I'm like, that was awesome. Like, let me actually check out the YouTube video. It was more of like a poppy tune, and I actually much prefer this sort of acoustic vibe. But it was still cool to see like two different users interacting, and the fact that Francis actually wants you to engage with his video and his content. That's a good way. And I'm sure there are other people who are singing with him as well, but this is just the one that I chose for the sample for this presentation.
Hi.
Okay, so this is a little bit, so the content on this is a little bit different to what I've shared before. So I know some of them have a little bit like more traditional business, I guess, but in the sense of growing your account or your following on TikTok, this is more like funny content. But so the user Yolene Dadong, I'm probably pronouncing that incorrectly, but she's, I mean, what I believe to be a comedian, because a lot of her content is so funny. Like, I'm like in tears constantly. She has 9.9 million followers, and both of these videos have 1.5 million likes. So this is the stitch. So what I said about a stitch is you take the first few seconds of somebody else's video, and that sort of goes at the beginning of yours, and then you sort of follow suit. So this user is really good at sort of mastering this stuff, like using stitched or stitching other users' videos for like comedic purposes. She's sort of making fun of them in a way, but she also is just really funny in how she does it. So, Tiana, if you could play the first video on the left.
Can I get my wisdom teeth extracted now?
So that's sort of like, I don't know the name of the type of comedy, but it's where it's just like one line that delivers and it's funny. The effects that she used a green screen effect. So she found a photo of a dentist's office and sort of imposed herself. She has some tissue paper or some, napkin on her thing to imply that she's there. And so she grows her following this way, and actually a lot of her videos do really, really well. Because this is sort of her style as a comedian. This is how the kind of comedy that she likes. So for the video on the right, it's of an employee who works as a barista, I guess is the title, at a bubble tea shop.
I lose our control and something takes over me.
Can I order now? Okay, can I get the milk tea, 50% sugar, 20% ice? How sweet is sweet if it's 100%?
So I had to mute myself just because I was laughing, but so yeah, she's hilarious. So again, so I'm sure that dance is probably a TikTok trend again. So it was like some sort of dancing trend. So she finds a funny way to be able to like say like, oh, you're too busy dancing to take my order. But anyway, so that's basically what the stitch is. And so she uses it really well for her style of comedy and to grow her business, her audience. Because that's sort of the style that she's sort of like taken on, I guess. Obviously other comedians on TikTok do it as well, but that's, I guess, one way to utilize the stitch in a funny way. So if we go to the next slide, please. Yes. So so she is pretty famous on other channels as well. So and again, you would definitely try to alternate your sort of content on different channels. So like your Instagram content, for example, and your YouTube content, your TikTok content are all very different. So for her TikTok specifically, I like that it's very short, and then it just gets to the joke right away. And so these are all essentially pretty viral videos, and the reason why I'll show you like how I guess I determined viral, either wholesome or that shock factor. So the first one on the left is definitely wholesome. The middle two, sort of wholesome, shock factor, and then maybe the other one is also sort of wholesome shock factor. But Tiana, if you want to play the first one. I'll love all the dogs. So there was actually, again, a trend of using, I don't know if any of you, type 1 in the chat if you've heard of this video, but there was that TikToker who was skateboarding in California, drinking, out of the Ocean Spray, I think it was cranberry juice. Yeah, To Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. So this is obviously sort of like a spin on, I guess, that video, obviously utilizing that sound, knowing it was popular. I don't actually have the stats on me. I wish I did, but this video definitely went viral. Yeah, see, look at that. He did a collab with Ocean Spray and they bought him a new vehicle, which is incredible. So, I mean, he's not really, I don't, I might not know exactly what his content is, but I don't know if he's like a for sure business owner, but now he's got, maybe he's an influencer now and he's got deals with Ocean Spray. So if you want to play video number 2, as someone who works in video, this one I was like, whoa, this girl is talented.
I filmed a commercial in my college dorm. So since my dorm is quite small, I didn't have space to set up my backdrop stand, so I turned my desk into a makeshift set with 2 bed sheets. For this shot, I stuck a lemon slice on a paintbrush, spun it around, and masked it in with a Sprite and Post to make it fly out from behind the can. Here, I cut the can in half and poured water through it to make it seem like the camera was inside the can. Without further ado, here is the final commercial.
Hit it, boys.
So I don't know about any of you, but that looked really refreshing. And it definitely made me want to go grab some carbonated beverage, probably a Sprite. So yes, Quentin, very impressive. And she showed, again, sort of like from that, her whole process, you know, she talked about the struggle. She could see how she was doing everything. Yeah, the behind the scenes. So that's the cool aspect for this video specifically. Also, so she may not necessarily be like a business owner like some of you are, but this is for sure growing her brand as, I don't know, maybe she's a videographer, maybe she's an editor, but I mean, I could use, if I were her, I would use that. I wouldn't even submit a resume, you know, like I would just send this. This is what I did on TikTok. So okay, I do have the stats actually. So actually, no, I don't have the stats, unfortunately, but I have to go find it. But something in the crazy amounts of views and likes, obviously. So that has that real shock factor. Like it's so new, it's so cool. And at least to me, it seems pretty wholesome. It's someone in college in their dorm room making really cool Sprite commercials. So I think if she wanted to apply, you know, for a job at an ad agency and she showed them that, oh yeah, I made this. Oh my gosh, how fast do you think they'd hire her? And so actually video number 3 is really similar to number 2. So if you want to play, you might have seen this one. This one's really popular.
It goes on and on and on. Remind me of everything tonight. Yes, I'm in the zone. Dreaming about the things that we could be. So it's gonna be forever. You already know. That's what tell me when I'm in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Oh, is it too late now to say I need a one dance? And then we start to dance and I'm singing like,
Might be over now, but I feel it still.
I want you to be happier because I'm happy.
So pretty cool, pretty intense. Similar to the second one, you know, her username is, no, I think, Crystal, that might actually be like a song on TikTok that you can use. No, actually, I wouldn't say they require a lot of video skills. Maybe just a tripod, but she for these videos specifically, okay, maybe the second video, yeah, she definitely has a lot of After Effects and like compositing experience. But in order to put it's basically a compilation of shots together. She knew she was working on this project for a while and was just filming little snippets. And she knew she wanted to use that song. So it kind of was planned ahead of time, I guess, but she was lip syncing to the song. Her username is Emily the Engineer. I don't know if she's like looking for a job, and, you know, I don't know, but maybe I'm just ignorant, but I don't know what type of engineering job she would be applying for. But if she wanted to apply for, if she wanted to apply for a job at Marvel or something, I don't know, if she wanted to be a props maker in the film industry, I think she could show them this. I've seen this video like everywhere. Again, probably likes are in the tens of millions of likes. I think it's ridiculous. It's a pretty cool video. So she probably does explain the Iron Man armor in other videos. I know, like, her whole account is basically dedicated to explaining how she did it, you know, and like what material. She was 3D printing from what I could see. And yeah, and so I've definitely heard that song before. So it could be, again, she hopped on some sort of trend or wanted to get in on that song's popularity. And obviously was just happening to do this. So she was able to combine the coolness aspect of what she was doing, is building the suit, the Iron Man suit, and then the song. So the video on the right is for interior designers. So She explains it in the whole video, but basically this video on the right is essentially like any basic home renovation show that you can see, that you'll see on HGTV. So if Tiana, you want to play video number 4, please.
Think I'd leave your side, baby. You know me better than that, yeah. Think I'd leave you down when you're down on your knees. I wouldn't do that. And I'll tell you you're right when you want. Ha 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 oh. And if only you could see into me. Oh, when you're cold.
So you can see there that last little bit, the reaction video. It's probably somewhere else on her YouTube or her blog or her website where you can watch the whole video. And she definitely probably goes into this into an extent, but she's a designer and you can see the work that she does. Also, she added, with the text, she added that story element about this couple that, you know, had a kid and was really, really waiting for her to do her house. They just kept saving, saving, saving. They even had another kid. So you get this whole story arc in a minute and you can see her doing the work. You can see sort of that transition of like before and after. So that's a good, so I guess if that's sort of your business or if that's sort of something similar to your business, that would be a great way to utilize TikTok and that short form content. Also, like, yeah, I mean, that could have been a whole 30-minute episode on HGTV without commercials. You know, it basically just gave you everything. You know, don't wait for HGTV to call you and say, hey, we want to do a show about you. You know, there's so much home renovation content that I find on TikTok, and there's a lot of DIY stuff that they talk about. And so this is also another type of content that you can see on TikTok being used for businesses. Sorry about that. So again, I just saw there's sort of the summary of what I went through, and this is just sort of, again, my opinion, but there's definitely more that could go under these categories. But I listed sort of like, if you're in this space, where you would find the most value in types of content. So like for industry secrets, maybe you're in the education space and not necessarily in like education, like the traditional, like at the school, but like if you offer like courses or any types of like educational aspect. So if you're a small business owner, an artist, I'm not going to read them all out, but you can see on this slide where I think you could, what type of content you could post. Again, actually, you really could share all of them. I mean, you really could type all of them, but this is just what I thought would be really valuable. So like, again, the informational valuable, I shared with you the dog trainer. Chef, I think would be really good if you cooked up your whole recipe and then, you know, said, oh, you know, there's a link, you know, you want the full recipe, link is in my bio and you can check out my website for the full recipe. And you've watched them cook the entire thing in a minute. Yeah, it's quick, but it still looks really good. You can see how they do it. And then you can always go to their website for more. I've also seen physiotherapists on here and they talk about, oh, you know, what to do when you roll your ankle. I don't know, I feel like that's some sort of common but not super serious injury, or it could be could be super serious, but they talk about, you know, things you can do about, you know, icing, you know, how to properly apply heat, ice, elevating, all that kind of stuff. But they are also like experts. So like the clinic one I showed earlier, they're definitely experts. The doctors, they know what they're talking about. But then again, it's up to you if you want to follow them or if you want to believe what they say. But physiotherapists are great. They talk about, oh, do you have a sore back from working from home a lot? Yes, I've seen, those are great videos as well. And so I've seen photographers, they talk about tips for models on how to like create lines with your body and like how to find light. So those are information valuable. So for the work in progress, I showed an example of artists, but a musician, you could talk about how, if you're a musician and maybe you're writing a song, you could talk about your thought process. The dog groomer was another example I showed. I threw web developer up there because I thought, maybe if you were in the, if you're developing, I don't know, if you're developing a software, doing a website or whatever, you could share, your steps and, or if you're a self-taught web developer, how you went about doing that. And so again, that could lead to you being a freelance web developer, or you just want to build your brand. And when you apply to jobs or something, this is, check out my TikTok, look at this valuable content that I've helped, I don't know, X amount of people with. And so there's home renovations as well. And then duet stitch, those are not, it's not really a type of content, but those are the two examples that the one that I shared was the comedian and musician. And again, those kind of tie into trends, like, is it appropriate for business? Is it not? So yeah, there's definitely other types of businesses that you could add to this list, but this is just sort of what I thought were good examples. Next slide, please, Tiana. So I'll answer this. TikTok use for gaming. I don't know, because and I think it could. The reason why I don't know is because that's not the type of content that I follow. And what happens is, obviously with these algorithms, they promote similar content to what you're already following. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of people in the chat. Sorry, I'm losing track of the chat. But anyway, so these are some tips and tricks that I've sort of found out through research and sort of analyzing a lot of what people are talking about. And when I've followed and seen a lot of other people that talk about how they got to, 5 to 10, I don't know, 10,000 followers. I mean, even that, to get started, 5 to 10,000 followers is still a lot. So the one thing that a lot of people say, and that it is kind of time consuming, is to post multiple times a day and do it consistently. So the TikTok algorithms favor those who post a lot. I've seen people that do devote their life to TikTok. They'll post like, oh my gosh, like 10 times a day. I read this one Reddit thread about this one guy who would post 50 videos a day. I mean, I'm not sure if he was working full time, but that obviously is a lot. The one good thing about TikTok though is if you wanted, you can save a lot of your videos as draft, prepare them all, and then sort of share them as you're ready. Or you could just try your best to post. So follow other people in your space, do it and stitch the videos. So it could be seen as competition, but also like you could just kind of collaborate. You could be sharing tips. If you were to stitch someone's video that's similar in your space, and some of their followers see that and say, oh, you know what, that's also really good advice that I hadn't heard of from this channel. So they'll go check out your channel and they'll go see what other content you post, and might give you a follow because you're also similar to other accounts that they follow. So engage with content, or engage with comments. So in the sticker video I shared, she was actually responding with a video. In my head, that's just really good customer service. You might get a lot of comments and it might be really difficult to respond to all of them. So again, if you get to that point, it might be really strategic to consider, what comments you respond to. So next point is use upcoming songs and sounds on Talkboard. So that's the screenshot that I took this morning actually from Talkboard. So this is a website, talkboard.com, I believe. It tells you what songs are already up and coming, so you can sort of ride that wave and include it in your videos. So maybe the video you're sharing is a helpful tip on marketing. And maybe the sound doesn't necessarily go. Maybe it's like a rock song or something. It doesn't really sound like it fits. A tip you could use is you could lower the volume of the video so that it's like hardly inaudible, or it's just very faint in the background. So that way you're still sort of in that loop of that popular song. So when people go, oh, I want to see what other videos are in the song, your video will still pop up. Yeah, your video will still pop up, but the song is not destroying your video. And again, focus on valuable content related to your business. If you want to post that odd trend because you wanted to do it for fun, go ahead, just have fun. But again, just double check, whether or not it would hurt or help your business. And then again, so don't be shy to share some of your personalities. So that's basically what I mean there. And then another great tip is you can actually download the whole video off TikTok and then re-upload it to your Instagram. So you've now have this sort of 1 minute or 15-second video. Sorry, I think someone asked what is the most ideal time. Honestly, it depends on what the video is. So if you can, I think with attention spans, I think 15 seconds is ideal. But if you're explaining something, or if you're going, if you're trying to give a tip, I would probably do the minute, but you can also do less than a minute. So it's really 15 to 1 minute. So you just have to play around, and you also have to watch other videos in your space to see if you're in this sort of industry, all the videos tend to be a lot longer. So then, okay, so that seems to be working for other people. Maybe I can try that as well. And then again, you can also test. So maybe the longer form videos aren't doing as well. Maybe you shorten it. Maybe you half the time. So instead of a minute, you do 30 seconds and you realize that does a lot better. Then you can go, okay, great. 30 seconds is my time. And then you can move forward with 30 seconds. Hashtags, FYP for your page. Now, I don't know how much this actually works, but a lot of the viral videos that I do see have these hashtags. So it's the For You page is similar to the Explore page on Instagram. It's people that you do follow, or sometimes you don't follow, but they're just completely, totally different videos. I will get a singing video, I will get a dog video, I will get a painting video, and I'll just keep scrolling, and they're just all types of different videos. I guess this is the way that the algorithms work to show you content that they think is for you. And so using those hashtags, I guess would, I can't 100% guarantee that would work, but a lot of the big videos that I see have those tags. And then include closed captions. So it's actually not that difficult to do it. I've done it a couple times. It maybe takes 10 extra minutes, but you can choose different fonts, you can choose different colors, you can choose where you place them. So, they're not super in the way or whatever. You don't have to do the whole video as well. You can also just do sort of the main points. Okay, so I think the next slide is if we want to analyze some TikToks. Do we want to do this? I mean, I went a little bit over. Maybe if in the chat, do you want to maybe talk about, we can watch some of these videos and we can try to talk about why we think they make great videos. Okay, Saf is saying, sure, yes. Okay, great. So the first one is a little bit easy, but if you want to go to the first one, Tiana, we can talk about.
Happy guy. Oh, just a happy guy. Oh, just a look at that, a happy. Oh, the happy dog. Oh, just a happy.
Okay, so maybe in the chat, do we want to talk about why we think this video has, okay, now I actually have the stats for this one. 43.5 million views, 7.1 million likes. I mean, I think the answer for this one is obvious. Yeah, it's, yes, dog, happy vibes, catchy, yes. So, and it's okay, so for that catchy element, so whenever my dog does something similar, me and my husband will actually say this sound. It's become like so ingrained in us, and this sound, I believe, is also another trend where other animal owners will use this sound to show when their animals are super happy, and it's just a fun video. And this user, I don't know the name, but basically all of her content is about her dog. And so I'm pretty sure her dog is an influencer and, gets paid to, promote toy brands and food brands. Yeah, so there's actually some of these videos actually don't really go viral. So actually the fourth video I find is probably the most helpful, but did not go viral actually. So we'll get to there. I think Crystal was the one that asked, but Tiana, if you want to play video number 2.
Summer bucket list number 49. Play ball. The crisp, refreshing taste of Bud Light. The perfect beer for checking off your summer bucket list. Living on a postcard doesn't make us soft. It makes us hard to play against. We are all Canucks. Perfect pairings start at Tim Hortons, like the Turkey Bacon Club and Chicken Noodle Soup for just $5.99. There are things we have to do, and things we choose to do. When you get a choice, choose thrilling. The new Porsche Macan. Kleenex Ultra Soft Tissues. 3 layers strong for sneezes, smudges, and everything in between. Kleenex for all the moments. A portion of every purchase is donated to students in need.
Okay, so what about this video makes it, if it's a great video, did you like this video? Did you not? And if you did, what do you think made it great? Or just so okay? Wow factor, cool. For me, I liked the range. As a voice actor, this is, I guess, developing his brand and constant engagement throughout. Yep. I thought the text also was really was used in a great way. You could see what type of commercial he was talking about. Yeah, okay, cool. So, and it also gives you that behind the scenes video. So I believe this user also, like similar types of content, is consistent, is on brand. He's this voice actor. He can do so many different types of commercials. And it's, you're almost a little bit removed when you see those videos, on TV or on the radio. And at least for me, sometimes I see these commercials and I forget that that's not like a robot or someone that's like, the computer's programmed, because it's like the specific tone, the way that they speak is so like perfect and similar every time and consistent. But yeah, it's a voice actor. And so I think I follow a couple voice actors because I think what they do is so cool. So yeah, so there's that. Do we want to, and so number 3 video, please.
How to make creme brulee in an instant pot. 1/2 cup of milk, 1/4 cup of cream. Microwave it for 1.5 minutes or until milk is warm. 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of sugar together. Slowly pour in the milk while whisking it together. Optional but highly recommended, add in some rum. Strain and pour into a container. Cover the container with tin foil. Add in 2 cups of water. Add it in the instant pot. Pressure cook 3 minutes. Rest in the fridge for 30 minutes. Look at that.
So, anyone want to comment on this video? Thanks so much, Diane, for joining. Did you like this video? Did you not like this video? What did you think worked? Did you find it was too fast? Did you think it looked reasonable? Did it seem like fast and to the point? So, yeah, so accessible, easy to do at home, recipe to try, yeah. So it didn't look that hard. I always thought that creme brulee was this like luxury dessert, and I think an Instant Pot is really trendy as well. It's a tool that I think a lot of people have. So a lot of her videos actually do really well because she's very consistent. She posts constantly, and she does these trends. She creates these own trends for herself, actually. So she'll do like cooking Asian dishes, 10 Asian dishes on 10 different days. So every day she posts a new Asian recipe or dish, and she posts the whole thing. And then, yeah, so it's awesome. She makes everything from scratch most of the time, actually, but you get to see her cook it. And it's so fast. Was that a minute? It felt less than a minute, but it definitely made me want to give it a try. It looked super easy. Didn't really require that many ingredients. So the 4th video, Crystal, I think you were asking about no virality, but this one is a smaller account that I follow, but she's like a nanny. She talks about like, tips on how to feed your baby, how to burp your baby, little things like that. But this video specifically got 5,462 likes. And then I think 5,000 of those, sorry, 5,462 views and 5,000 likes. So, I mean, that's still a lot, but it's, I guess, because she posts regular content that is similar and valuable to, you know, maybe first-time moms, first-time parents, about stuff that they didn't know. So Tiana, if you don't mind playing video number 4. So that one is probably the least performing video in terms of all the ones that I've shown, but I mean, it's definitely one of the more valuable ones out of the samples that I've shown. You know, again, valuable in terms of depending on your audience, but very informative. Yeah, I mean, it's still pretty quick. I mean, at least for me, I like that she showed, you know, the difference in color. I had no idea. I mean, I have no kids, so I wouldn't know anything about, breastfeeding or anything like that. The pace was good. Yep, awesome. And even this frozen slide here, the mom produces milk with melatonin in the late evening. I know melatonin, I've taken it a few times when I can't sleep. I had no idea that this existed. So in my head, this has that virality cool shock factor, but that's because I didn't know that. But this, I believe this username is like @nanny or something like that. And she just talks about other, she just shares her wisdom of being a nanny for so many years. And it's, that's maybe the business that she has. She's a, maybe she's a freelance nanny, or, maybe she has a business and she just focused on. Yeah, okay. So Crystal makes a point. Maybe it was too long. Maybe you could have broken it up into smaller content. Maybe she could have gone more into depth about that one specific thing. Maybe she could have also broken this up into 4 or 5 different videos and gone more into depth about, just this melatonin, for example. So lots of different ways that you could go about this video. So thanks for that, Crystal. And then again, so if, for example, you are this account @nanny and you post this long form content, with different types of styles or different types of facts about milk, and maybe it doesn't do as well. And then maybe you do a super condensed version. Maybe you break it up and you talk about this one with the melatonin and you just talk about that one specifically, and you realize that one does a lot better. Then maybe you can adjust your strategy. Maybe, okay, maybe people don't really want to see the long form content. Maybe they just want to see the super focused videos about about that one specific topic. Yes, mine as well. Okay, so that's it for the Analyzing TikTok video. Thank you so much for all the comments. I know there's a lot of stuff in the chat. Sorry I couldn't get to all of them, but does anyone want to ask any questions? Feel free to unmute yourself if you like, or type it in the chat. I'm going to try and scroll back to see what I can address. Okay, so Saf, you make a good point about, going back to major issues with small business TikTok posting tips. Yeah, so that can definitely be, I guess, a negative thing if you decide to post content that is not your core business. Like, for example, the hair clips was your core business, and you decide to talk about small business TikToks, then yes, you could definitely end up straying away from what your original content is. I've actually seen it because there's this one TikToker that I followed about how to get jobs in the film industry. And so that's what my startup is related to. So I was following her to see what types of content she was posting. And then she started posting about how to get jobs, like in general, and that content blew up. So now she's had to pivot to just getting hired as just getting a job. And I can imagine that that's going viral because of the pandemic and people needing employment and stuff. So I don't know if she was planning on starting a business that was rooted around film, getting jobs in film, but now she's had to pivot. And so she's talking about something that's so like general. She talks about like how to answer interview questions. And although it is helpful, it does stray away. So again, it does, you want to provide content that what your audience likes, but then if it's sort of straying away from your, yes, she's stuck in a niche. So if you stray away from your content, that's something that you need to think about. If that's something that you want to do or you can't do. So how would an artist use TikTok for business? So I think showcasing their art, that's probably, the easiest answer. And I've seen that one done a lot, where they do start to finish. Really good examples that I've seen as well are like when the artist is working on a piece, but they only show the super, super small details. So you have no idea what they're working on. So maybe they're working on like an eye, or they're painting the background, or they're doing these small little bits. And at the end, they then reveal that it's this like actually maybe massive piece of work, or it's this piece of work that, I don't know, it requires like so much detail, but they've been basically like teasing you along the way, and then eventually have the reveal at the end. And obviously if that's the type of content you want to post, then just be careful and be mindful of the length, because you obviously don't want to drag it out too much and then people are getting bored. So that's where you kind of need to find the balance of, sharing what you're doing and then doing sort of the big reveal. I've seen a lot of people also help, again, I've seen other TikTok artists, or not TikTok artists, sorry, people creating stickers on Procreate, which is an app on the iPad. It's like its whole niche in itself, but they often sometimes will, again, add tips on how they do their thing. But that could, again, you could stray away and just doing tips. But if maybe you only seldomly share those tips, and maybe the majority, maybe like, I don't know, 70% or 80% of your posts are you working on your artwork, showcasing your art, and then maybe the 20% is maybe helping others or showing little tips and tricks. That's what could, like if you establish that early on, you could, you could use that as sort of your strategy. Sorry, lots of great comments. Any comments about repurposing on YouTube, short vids, IG Reels, Facebook? Yes. So there's actually a video that I wanted to include but couldn't find the space for it. But hate to bring up Gary Vee all the time, but so Gary Vee is this like social media guru guy. He talks about his sort of like funnel where you start off with these long form content. So it's maybe, and it goes up on YouTube, for example, and it's maybe and it's this long interview that you are interviewing maybe someone else in your space or an expert in your industry, and you record the video. You then can download that audio and create a podcast out of it. You could transcribe that audio, turn it to a blog post. You can then take that blog post and break it up into some stuff on social media, like maybe a thought leadership post on LinkedIn, maybe some slider posts on Instagram. And from the video, you could also create little reels, maybe find that moment where someone makes that like aha moment, like, yes, that is really good information. You could snippet that, you could share that on Instagram, you could share that on TikTok. Like I said, like TikTok, you can upload videos already. You can also do series if you wanted. So you could say like part 1, is this part 2, or again, so you like the key with content is to be able to redirect them to other parts of your brand. So if it's maybe another social media channel, or if it's your website. So if you post like a short snippet of a video on Instagram, on TikTok, and say of like the most interesting moment of the interview, say for example, and then you could say, oh, watch the rest of the video on my website or on my YouTube. Then you could redirect them, maybe have a link somewhere that easily directs them so they can watch the whole video if they're interested. So that's sort of how you could break it up if you have that. And so creating that long form content I know is really difficult. So even just creating short stuff and again, resharing it onto Instagram and Facebook. That's one way you could repurpose your content and share to different platforms and encourage your followers to check out your other platforms as well. A cool topic to explore is the death of Instagram and why TikTok is the perfect replacement. Yes, so that's really interesting too. I know Instagram released Reels, and I think it was mainly because TikTok was going to be banned in the US. I think something with Trump about how if the US didn't own it or something like that. But I know Instagram tried to capitalize on that. I don't know specifically if it's taken off as well, because actually when I look at a lot of other Instagrammers, a lot of their videos are from their TikTok. So I'm like, okay, like they're just, you know, repurposing their content that way. I know some people don't really use Reels as much, but at least for me, I guess it's a convenient way of video. I mean, I also like video, so I try to check their Reels, and sometimes I find that it's not as, I guess, robust. And obviously TikTok is pure video, so there's like no photos. But yeah, so Cole says Gary Vee has some really good stuff regarding pillar content. Yes, so that's similar to what I was talking about. So if you want to look more into that, you can type in Gary Vee and pillar content. Sorry, I'm going to try and go back to the chat. And I hope that the videos that I shared were broad enough. And I think I tried to pull videos from different types of, while a lot of them had dogs, I tried to pull content from different potential businesses. And I tried to pull like why, like what about this video? Maybe you're not a dog trainer, but what about this video works, you know, so that you can use in your own business and market a TikTok strategy for your business. And just analyzing, you know, maybe go on TikTok, scroll through a bunch, you know, like a couple of them, and then ask yourself and analyze them afterwards. Like, why do you like this video? What about this video stood out to you? And, you know, learn from other people on TikTok if you do plan on using TikTok as a as a social media platform. I think I saw one question about, Liz was asking, what do they use? Like what equipment? If I'm not mistaken, I think a lot of people use either their iPhones or their whatever smartphone they have. I've seen people where they record video on a separate on a separate camera, but they've obviously recorded it vertically, and then they'll upload it, so the quality is a lot nicer. But that obviously takes a lot more time, effort, and obviously the skills required. But a lot of the videos that I actually shared are probably just with their smartphone, because I mean, go, you know, if you want to download TikTok tonight and just try it out, see what the different features you can do. There's also so many, only a couple features that you could do if you use your phone. So some of the like background effects you could only obviously select on your phone. Any of the filters or face distortion effects that you want to add on your video, that's only through the app itself using the camera. And what I think, sort of to wrap up that comment, is focus on just creating value. And I think the quality is maybe not as important. I think now with the sort of digital age, and there's a lot of people creating content just with their phones, I think we've, you know, it doesn't have to be a cinema quality. You know, you can still get that, you can still gain a following, you can still provide valuable content, you know, with a smartphone, even if it's, you know, not the newest one, but if you are providing valuable content, you know, you're trying out some of the trends, or you're, you know, you're engaging with your followers, or stuff like that. I know Crystal was also saying, I know some of the stuff is obviously luck. Like I cannot give you a formula for how to create a viral video. I'm sure people are trying to figure that out. But if you keep consistent, if you stay on brand, if you provide value, I think those are like the key pillars to creating or to having a successful video strategy, whether it's on TikTok or Instagram. So that takes us to 6:30. just wanted to thank you all very much for attending today. I believe Tiana is going to wrap up this Mentor Monday.
Well, thanks everyone for coming. This is our social media handles. I would also plug in upcoming sessions, our Edge website, and our feedback form. We would like to hear what we can do better to better experience Mentor Mondays. But thank you, Erica, for facilitating the session, and thank you everyone for attending. We do this every Monday, so check our upcoming sessions for the next session, which will be digital marketing. If you have any last questions, feel free to put it in the chat, but we'll end it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Tiana. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.